Hello, and welcome to the Jefferson Educational Society's live Facebook feed on this happy Friday. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you came to be with me today as we work on mindfulness again, as we do every Friday. But today, in particular, we're working on releasing worries. So, you might know if you're tuning in that releasing worries can be a difficult thing to do. Um, it can be hard to release worries. So we'll be working on that today. We'll do a meditation, kind of a mindfulness practice on that in a few minutes. I'll give you a little bit of background first about worries and why it's valuable to release worries, assuming you don't already know why it's valuable. Um, but what I really mean is sometimes we feel like worries are a protective thing in our life. That if we worry about things, it means one, that we care. It also, sometimes in our mind, we think it helps us to be prepared for different situations. So let me just check my little broadcast here for a second. Right. So we think it helps us be prepared for situations. And there's a lot of research into worries, into anxieties. And the research shows that when we worry about lots of things, in order to help ourselves be more prepared in case those things happen, that the sum total of all those worries is not beneficial. And that indeed we don't end up feeling more prepared when some negative thing happens. Instead, it's been kind of a long-term drain on our psyche, and it's been a long-term drain on our sense of preparation, and so it doesn't actually end up being helpful. So the reason I explain this is because our brain doesn't always like to kind of get in line with what we really want, what our wise mind wants, right? So it could be, if you're struggling with worries, that your brain is really just trying to help you, like, okay, let's be prepared. Let's think about what might go wrong. So it could be this. So picture in your brain like a flow chart, right, with all these different directions. So this might happen, and then if this happens, then I could do this thing or say this thing, and then that might happen, or no, maybe that might happen, or that person might respond in that way, or maybe they'd respond in that way, and then this might happen, okay? So it means to me, if you're struggling with that you're trying to be prepared, and your brain is trying to help you be prepared. However, we can't really be prepared for all of these different scenarios because we can't foresee the future. We can't read other people's minds. So if we can kind of learn, by learn, I mean practice, letting go of all those things that might happen, of all of those possible scenarios. We're just today going to practice letting go, even though a part of your brain is going to want to keep doing it. So when I think about worries, I think about what I was just explaining, that our brain wants to be prepared. Another another reason we worry is to be problem solving, right? We're talking about anticipating things, problem solving things. And if I say today, okay, let's just drop all the worries. Maybe some of you who are listening are like, okay, good, let's go. Come on, get started here because I've listened enough. Other people might have a part of your brain that's saying, but I worry because I care. And if I drop worries, it's like I'm dropping the fact that I care, or that I'm dropping some responsibility. If I don't worry, does it mean I don't care? Does it mean I don't want to be responsible for the things I am responsible for? No, you still care a lot about people, about situations, about family and friends, about your future, about possibilities, about your health. You still care very deeply. But the worries don't prevent what you're worried about. They just make you more anxious. That's what we're talking about today. Another thing I want to talk about with worries is part of worrying can be habit. That we're used to worrying. We're just used to it. We think it's helpful. We're used to spending our time kind of off in the future instead of here today, in the present, in the very present moment. So part of it really can be habit. So we'll do a mindfulness practice, a meditation on worries. And I'll take a couple of different approaches. We'll just take our time. I'll take a couple of different approaches. And we'll practice some things, and you can just see how it goes for you. I'd like you to close your eyes. Sit comfortably in your chair and allow your chair to support you. So yes, you're sitting in your chair or on your couch. And that piece of furniture right this minute is there to support you. And you allow yourself to be supported by that furniture. Relaxing into that furniture. Bringing your awareness fully to the present moment, let's notice first the sounds around. Any sounds you may be noticing. Bring your awareness into your body, releasing some places that are tense. Feeling your clothing on your body. Your shirt, your sleeves. Your pants or shorts, your skirt, your waistband, perhaps your shoes. Just being in the present moment, feeling your clothing on your body. Let's transition to our worries now. I find that with my own worries, they can seem to get stuck to me. And I have an image for my worries. My image is leaves in the fall, not necessarily stuck to the tree. But you know how when the windows are wet, the leaves can stick like to the windows? That's kind of what I picture for my worries. It's like the leaves, each leaf represents a worry. It's almost like it's just stuck to me. And I'm like, oh, I'm done with you, worry, but the leaf is still stuck to me. And of course, we can have so many worries because of uncertainties about life. So try picturing your worries adhered to yourself. Or you might have a better image than that. If that one doesn't resonate with you, you picture your worries in a different way. Let's just do a little survey of our worries. So let's take the next minute or two. How about I'll give you 2 minutes to survey your worries, the things that are on your mind, on your heart. Notice a worry. Validate it. It's a true worry. And then go on to the next. Notice it. And the next. Notice the next. And I'll pause while you notice your worries and you move from one to the other, just acknowledging them. Trying not to get drawn into the worry, the reason you're worried, what might happen. You're just noticing an area of your life or a specific worry about a specific situation. And then going on to the next and the next. Very good. Might not be hard to notice your worries. Now I'd like you to, with these worries, change your image a bit. For me, the image is each worry is represented by a leaf that's stuck. But I'm going to allow the leaf to fall into a stream that's running beside me. Each leaf, I allow it to fall. If it won't fall, I pull it off and I drop it into this stream that's sparkling and clear. And the leaf gets carried away, off. It gets carried off. And the next leaf, the next worry, I release it into this stream to get carried away. The next worry, I release it. I pull it off, I let it go into this stream, even though I still care. Each worry, I release it. So that it doesn't have to be residing within me or stuck to me. It's a way of trusting that I can let go. Trusting that rather than spin on my worries, I can let them go. And either trusting or hoping that I'll be able to handle when and if something does happen. I'll use my own resilience and wisdom and mindfulness to handle whatever happens. We're continuing to notice the worries and release them into this stream that's running alongside. There's a big leaf. That one I have to really peel off of myself. Extend my arm over the stream. Drop the leaf into the stream, and it gets carried away. There's another worry. It's a big one. I'm going to peel that one off of myself. That leaf representing my worry. Extend my arm over the stream and release it. Big worries and small. I can practice releasing my worries into this stream, knowing that I still care very deeply, noticing that when I release them, sometimes I feel a little conflicted because I still feel a sense of responsibility. But I practice releasing these worries anyway. Now that we've been practicing releasing worries, we've mostly been using my image of these leaves that get stuck. And each leaf represents a different worry. Let's switch to another image that perhaps will resonate with you. How about an image of carrying along a suitcase of worries? It's heavy. You may be carrying it along at the end of your arm, the normal place we carry a suitcase. And you've been carrying it. Although it might resonate to almost be carrying it on your shoulders. Maybe there's a heaviness on your shoulders. You can go with your image, however it feels to you or seems to you. You honor that. But it's this sense of weight, of worries, of anticipation, of figuring things out, of problem solving, a sense of responsibility, to be on top of it and always worrying. But I would like you to let go of that suitcase. Just drop it, just let it go. Whether you've been carrying it at your side, if so, you let it go and you step away from that suitcase. If it's been on your shoulders, you sidestep it, you let it go. You lift it up and off, or you step away onto a different pathway. You release, let it go. Let's take a couple of deep breaths where the exhale is a big exhale, something like this. At your own pace, you'll inhale and exhale and release. Another inhale at your own pace. Exhale and drop the worries. A few more, inhale and exhale and drop. One more thing before we wrap up. I'd like you to move your body in a freer way. It could just be moving at the waist or the hips. It could be shaking your head, moving your shoulders, releasing your hands. I want you to release those worries, relax, and move in a freer way. Moving, shimmying, shaking, however you feel that you can be freer and releasing. And whenever you're done shaking, shimmying, releasing, I'd like you to come back to your breath. Come back to your breath. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Very nice. Thank you for joining me as we worked on releasing worries. I'd like to emphasize that this is a practice. Sometimes worries creep back in when we're not noticing. So practicing, there's going to be some part of today that resonated more than the rest. Practicing peeling the leaves off, extending your arm and releasing the worry leaf, or just letting them fall, or letting go of the suitcase, letting go of the worries, shaking yourself to release. I'd like you to keep practicing this. Some people like to choose a phrase, such as, I release it. I release it to my higher power, to God, to the universe. I let go. I trust. Or maybe peace. But it's a phrase that you can use if you want to. You might just practice dropping the leaves. But if it helps you to have a phrase, you choose a phrase. Let it go, let go. And then you use that phrase when you notice the worries coming and your own nature of worrying, problem solving, anticipation, the sense of responsibility. You're letting it go. Please join me next week, and we will be talking about releasing regrets. That's what we're talking about. Releasing regrets next week. We'll be live at the Jefferson Educational Society Facebook feed next Friday at noon. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Penny Meckley Porter. I'm a therapist here in Erie, PA, and I hope to see you again next week. Thank you.